Hello, sages. We're back after. Has it been a month? I think it has been a month. I think it has been more than a month. It is me, your fellow sage DMPaulG, and we're back here on stream. I hope I'm not on mute. I hope you can hear me. It is a real stream. Do we have raffle? No, we still don't have raffle. But we can still learn a lot of new things here in the stream. So it's good to see people are still here. Yeah, after a month. Yeah, after a month, I thought this place of learning is abandoned, is now in ruins, occupied by goblins, direwolves or whatever. But yeah, and the hair, yes, yes. We can hear. All right, you can hear us. All right. No, not you, not goblins. If you want to be a goblin, I'm not gonna stop you. Because if you want, you do you. But yes, new hair, new look. For me to learn some new stuff about what just happened in the last month. I'll just assume it's been a month. A lot of things happened, and now we're back and ready. But to tell you the truth, just don't tell don't tell BMG about this. It's just I'm just trying to get that epic finished ASAP as soon as possible. That's why I had to stop streaming. But Winter Fantasy is over. Everybody have played the epic that I wrote. I hope some adventurers were able to play the epic adventure that I wrote in Winter Fantasy. And I hope those who played it were able to have fun, able to enjoy it. Because we sacrifice 1 month worth of stream to get that done. Yep. But of course, BMG folks will they're not here, right? They're not listening, so it's okay. We could talk about it. Time to dye that hair blue. Or let's see. Okay. Thinking more of green, but yeah, we can go with blue as well. But anyway, if this is your first time here in Lore Academia, again, my name is DMPaulG. I write adventures, mostly for Adventures League, which is the organized play system here in 5th edition. You also hear a lot of motorcycles passing by if you're here. And what we do, I'm also one of the storyline coordinators at Balman Games for the Moonshae Isles. And what we do there is we write storylines. We write the next adventures that will be set in here in the Moonshae Isles, which is a group of islands in the Forgotten Realms in the world of Toril. And what we do here is I do my job. I read adventures, try to learn as much lore as I can about the Moonshaes. And when I was doing that, I realized, you know what? Other people might want to learn about the Moonshaes as well at the same pace as I'm doing. And there we go. We got spam already in chat. Good job. All right. And maybe other people would like to or don't have the time to read adventure or to play the adventure, and that's why we're here and just reading them. And hello. And wait, there we go. It got removed. All right, all good. Okay. Yes. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm sorry, sages. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, mods are asleep. Yeah. I was about to remove it too. But no, the mod is alive. All good. Thanks for that. But yeah, I'll try to figure out how to run the stream again. Basically, yeah, again, what we do, we read adventures, we extract as much lore as we can from these adventures. If you're in the Philippines right now, I know it's late if you're planning to go to sleep, you can use this stream. Just put it on the background, and hopefully while you're sleeping, unconsciously start to learn more about the Moonshae Isles, right? If you're on the other side of the world and the sun is still out, then yeah, on your way to work, to school, wherever, then yeah, feel free to join me here as we read the adventure and try to see how cool the Moonshae Isles is. And we're gonna talk about, since we're reading an adventure, there'll be times where we're gonna talk about the writing, the design of the adventure, some of the traps. If there's puzzles, we'll solve the puzzles. But most of the time, we're just focused on the lore. So there'll be parts of the adventure that we skip if we know that we're not gonna learn anything about the Moonshaes. Okay, so that is it. Mod, how did that get past you? Okay. I think that is it. What else? Why am I doing this? Yeah, again, I'm one of the new storyline coordinators for the Moonshae Isles. We just released a how many adventures was it? 7 adventures, 6 adventures plus an epic, which is a multi-table adventure at Winter Fantasy in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I think that's the location. I'm not there, so I don't know where. But I know it's Fort Wayne something in the U.S. So that happened last week. I received a lot of good feedback from it. And there are a lot of typos in that adventure than those adventures. But the DMs there were all good. So they were great. They did a fantastic job running those Moonshae adventures. So there. Anyway, we're here to do our job as sages read adventure. So what we're reading right now is let me see if I have the code here. Yes, it's CCC BMG, or CCC stands for Community Created Content -BMG Balman Games, and then Moon3-1. This is Atop the Fairheights, which is part of the Rising Shadows storyline. If you're not familiar with the Rising Shadows, we've read. We're trying to read this in order. Let me see if I can show the story path. There we go. I'm trying to read this in order from Moon 1-1 all the way down to Moon 20. And each one of these circles have like a trilogy, except for like Moon 1-1 and basically except for the Moon 1 adventures. But like Moon 2 has 3 adventures, Moon 3 has 3 adventures. And so this is like 60 plus adventures all in all. And it's going to take us a while before we complete all of this. But now we're here. We're at Moon 3. We're about to make some progress again. We're going to start grinding until we reach Moon 20. Right, that is the goal. And then after that, we're going to go to another setting probably, or read more supplements or source book for the Moonshae Isles, or we can also do that in between. It depends. And yeah, that's it. Also, one of the things that I want to mention to you before we start, I know there's a lot of filler, right? Before we go into the adventure. Last one. Before we start, there's a reason why I want to go back to streaming as well, because somebody reached out to me. And I asked if that person, if it's okay to talk to, this fellow sage, actually not just an ordinary sage, this is like one of the high sages of the Moonshae lore. So I asked if it's okay to talk to him on stream, and they said yes. So we're watch out on Discord or Twitter, Facebook. There will be an announcement. It's happening this week. We're gonna talk about the Moonshaes. If you've been watching my stream or watching them on YouTube, a clue that I can give out is this author is one of the authors of the 4E Living Forgotten Realms Moonshae Isles campaign. So Yes, one of the favorite authors that we have there. Actually, our favorite author in the 4E Living Forgotten Realms campaign will be joining us. We'll barrage that person with a lot of questions about the Moonshae Isles, about what happened in that storyline and fourth edition, and what other secrets that person might have that they can share with us. So watch out for that. I'll post the announcement either today or tomorrow. But yeah, that interview will happen this week. There. So that is it. Let's go. Let's go digest this adventure module. This is written by Shawn Merwin, and again, one of my favorite authors as well. He was part of the 4E Living Forgotten Realms campaign. So I know that he knows a lot of the Moonshae Isles. Will he be the one that I'm interviewing? No, not him. But hopefully soon. Hopefully, if he's watching this, he sees this, or someone who knows him can tell him that, you know what, hey, Shawn, you want to join DMPaulG's stream and talk about the Moonshaes? And yeah. His name, Albert Einstein. Yeah. So yeah, atop the Fairheights. Fairheights is a location in the Moonshae Isles. So we'll go to our map after this blurb. So just as it looked like the combined forces of Clan Rukoat. We need pronunciation guides on this. Clan Rukoat and Clan Restfire might drive a long-time threat from the ancestral homes. The dwarven forces suffer a terrible defeat. The proud and slightly xenophobic dwarves reach out for assistance. Oh, okay. But is it too late? Or can a group of heroes turn the tide? The first adventure in the Fairheights trilogy. So this is a 4-hour adventure for Adventurers League, which is again the organized play system for 5th edition D&D. It's for level 5 to 10 characters. Okay. Brought to you by Baldman Games. And Shawn Merwin is the one who wrote it. Eric Mengi is basically like the main architect, like the storyline lead for the Rising Shadows. Like when I showed everything there, about like from Moon 1-1 to Moon 20, it's it's all Eric Mengi together with the trilogy leads and then the authors. So there. Rukoat. Is it Clan Rukoat? Yeah. For some reason I read it as Rukoat, but Rukoat is probably better. Yeah, and that's probably their pronunciation. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go with Rukoat. So this is just basically more AL information, so we're not going to read through that. We're going to skip that, and we're going to go here. There we go. The background. What's happening here? I'm wearing a robe, and it's hot here in this room, so let me adjust the AC. Okay. Adventure background. The Fairheights Range in the northern reaches of the island of Alaron is home to the Hill Dwarf Rukoat clan. They have lived there for centuries, mining the ore and crafting objects of iron and steel. Clan Rustfire, the Mountain Dwarf clan. Can you hear the dogs? There are like dogs barking outside. The Mountain Dwarf clan live beneath the Moonshae Isles of Gwyneth in the Cambro Mountains. The two clans' homes were connected through the Dwarven home tunnels, and they enjoyed a cordial relationship, trading and sharing stories, but otherwise keeping it to themselves, right? Recently, however, the two clans were forced to work together. Why? Because Clan Rustfire fled their homes through the Dwarven home tunnels to Alaron when the Dark Fae from Gwyneth attacked, driving them out. Oh, okay. Forces comprised of mountain orcs, trolls, and other evil humanoids then attack the Rookoats, seeking to eliminate the last of the dwarves from the Fairheights and establish their own domain. The combined forces of the two dwarven clans succeeded in establishing footholds in the mountains at High Rock and Blackstone, and even began to push some of the enemies back toward the dwarven home tunnels. These victories were short-lived, however. A shadow dragon, oh boy, called upon reserve troops from the Feydark, slaughtering the dwarves at Blackstone. And once Blackstone was lost, the evil creatures set their wicked sight on High Rock. The last stronghold of the dwarves is currently under siege. Both clans are preparing to swallow their xenophobic pride and seek help from High King Derrid. High King Derrid is the king of the folk. Folk with the two F's is what you call the people of the Moonshaes, and is also what you will call the human settlers here in the Moonshaes. Any adventures they can find, but the dwarves of Alaron have had a chilly relationship with the rest of the island's population. Well, if you're xenophobic, that's what's gonna happen. The dwarves, slightly xenophobic at the best of times, refuse to bend their knees to High Queen Alicia Kendrick at the height of her power, and they currently have no intention of bowing to High King Derrid, any of the Northlander Jarls, or any other force. While no open hostilities between the dwarves and humans have taken place, neither has either force actively worked together. Now, however, the dwarves are in dire straits. Even the combined forces of the Rookout and Rustfire clans are losing ground in the Fairheight range. The two clan leaders seriously consider asking for help, although it might be too late, and High King Derrid might not have the forces to spare even if asked for help, as his forces slowly succumb to the goblin armies led by the Great Garg. Well, good thing the goblins are not here in Lore Academia right now, right? They're busy bothering High King Derrid. So a lot of places was mentioned here. This is a long adventure background. So let's go to our super high-tech Moonshae map right here, which is opened using MS Paint. And let me see if I can, oops, there we go. See if we can get these locations. So adventure name is Atop the Fairheight. This is basically here, Fairheight range, Fairheight Mountains. And they mentioned that two locations, Blackstone right there, and High Rock over here. Blackstone has been sieged, gone, and now everybody's kind of staying here at High Rock, right? Yeah, if you're the one getting whooped by goblins are the folk. I mean we're not sure if they're getting whooped, but High King Derrid is basically sending his forces to, take care of the goblins, not the dwarves. The dwarves are getting whooped by the Dark Fae and, other forces, other evil forces that is in the tunnels of Dwarven Home. As you can see here, this line, I don't know if you could follow it there. Tunnels of Dwarven Home, because it goes all the way down. The Dwarven Home is this tunnel is basically in the Deep Shades, which is the Underdark, but under the Moonshae Isles. So there are a group of isles. So you have Moonshae Isles, and then in the Underdark, like below this land, below the islands, below the sea and everything, there's the Underdark, and you have the Deep Shades, which is another group of islands in the Underdark. And Clan Rastfire lived there in peace, but the Dark Fae kind of booted them out. And this is the Cambro. Oops, where is that? There you go. the Cambro Mountains. That's where the Rustfire clan is at. So, or the beginning, they were here, and then at the down below the Deep Shades, and then there's trade happening between the Rook Oath and the Rustfire from Gwenet to the Isle of Alaron, using these tunnels of Dwarven Home, but Rustfire got attacked by the Dark Fae, and now they asked if they can live with the Rook Oaths here in the Fairheight range together with the other clan. They agreed, they're okay, but the Rustfire got pursued by the Dark Fae, and now they're all in danger. And now they're asking the High King, whose seat of power is here in Caer Caladir, right here, for help. And will they be able to get the help that they need? We'll see. All right. I hope I didn't like accidentally draw something that's not supposed to be drawn. But anyway, where is our adventure? There we go. So let's kind of digest what we have here. So Isle of Alaron. So places we have Fairheight range. We have High Rock. Is it one word? Yeah, it's one word. We have Blackstone. And then what else do we have here? We have the tunnels of Dwarven Home was mentioned. And we have two factions or two clans. We have the Rustfire clan and the Rook Oath clan. Okay. Who else do we have here? Location and NPC summary. All right, this is gonna be big. Lore. Who's the first one? Brunhi. Brunhi Rook Oath is a matriarchal. There you go. Clan Rook Oath is a matriarchal society. There we go. And Brunhi is the clan leader at the moment. When Clan Rustfire fled to Alaron, Brunhi and the other Rook Oaths welcomed them with open arms. Now that both clans are in trouble, she's being pressured by dwarves from both clans to merge. Okay. She understands the need for mutual protection, but she's hesitant to give up her clan's tradition. Brunhi is tall for a hill dwarf, with light hair and shining green eyes. She's careful and calculating, speaking only when she has something important to say. So Brunhi is the leader of the Rook Oath clan. Okay. Now we have Norbert Rustfire. Norbert Rustfire, Clan Rustfire was almost destroyed by the Dark Fae of Gwenet when the Dark Fae of Gwenet attacked. And only a daring escape through the Dwarven home tunnels saved them. The Rustfire sought and received refuge from Clan Rook Oath in the Fairheight Mountains, but trouble soon found both clans. Norbert believes that it only makes sense for the two clans to merge, and he cannot understand Brunhi Rook Oath's reluctance to join the two clans together. Norbert has red hair and a redder beard, and deep wrinkles on his face from years of hard work, hard laughing, hard crying, and hard drinking. Okay, so I think Norbert Rustfire is the leader of the Rustfire clan. And Petra, okay? Petra Rook Oath is Brunhi's daughter and the heir to the leadership of Clan Rook Oath. She appears as a younger version of her mother with similar features and mannerisms. She's not as... Oh no, I don't know that word. Taciturn, is that how you pronounce it?
Taciturn.
Yep, it is taciturn. All right. Reserve and uncommunicative in speech. Okay. And where are we? All right. She appears as a young version of her mother. All right. She's not as taciturn as her mother. However, she speaks her mind without always fully thinking through the consequences. All right. So we have her as well. We have a lot of characters here. Heir to heir of the Brunhi. There you go. And then we have Shale Rustfire. Oh, I see here. So you have the leaders of these two dwarven clans, and then we're being introduced to like their children, the daughter and the son here. So we have Shale Rustfire. Narbert's son. And heir to the leadership. Yeah, heir I'll just put Narbert. Make it easier for me. Okay. Heir to the clan, heir to the leadership of Clan Rustfire. He begins the adventures as a captive of the orc forces. Shale is considered very handsome and charming. Brown hair, forceful personality, quick smile. When the adventurers find him, however, he's been severely beaten, covered with cuts and bruises. Oh no. And then we have Winnow Rustfire. Oh, we're going to have like a love triangle here. Narbert's daughter, close friend of Petra Rookout, and a potential leader of a new combined clan allying the Rookouts and the Rustfire. She's a priest of Baranor, True Silver, the dwarven deity of home and protection. She wears her long red hair in many braids, and she has earnest but stoic demeanor towards strangers. With friends, she's more relaxed with a wicked sense of humor. All right. That's long. That was only one page. Feels like we've gone through a lot already. So adventure overview. This is what happens here. There are 3 parts in this 4-hour adventure. Part 1, the adventurers are brought to meet Brunhi and Narbert, and they got caught up in the disagreements between the 2 clan leaders. Part 2, the adventurers are asked to sneak into the territory owned by the orcs to secure the freedom of Shale Rustfire, who was captured by them. And we need, as adventurers, we need to navigate a long-forgotten series of chambers and tunnels to infiltrate the orc territory and rescue Shale. And then after that, we arrive at the chamber where Shale is being held. They must deal with the magical restraints that threaten the young dwarf, while at the same time fighting off his captors. Okay. So, looks like a pretty simple adventure, but I feel like there's a lot of information here. So, it's written by Shawn Merwin. So, I'm expecting there's a lot of lore here. Adventure hooks. What are adventure hooks? So, if you're playing D&D or you're the dungeon master, you want to get your players to play this particular module, or you want to send them here to the Moonshae Isles, usually you can use these hooks. Or if they play the previous adventures, we have a hook for that as well. So here it says adventurers who completed the first mission in MOON3-1, Moonshae Treasure Hunt, might have the Friend of the Rustfire Clan story award, which, yeah, I remember. I think that's when Winnow was asking for a pearl or oyster or something, right? Red oyster or red pearl. Adventurers with that story award are contacted directly by Winnow to come and assist her clan. We have a generic story hook. The adventurers here, the leaders of Rustfire and Rookout clans, are looking for adventurers to assist them in their fight against the orc forces that have pushed them to the far end of the Fairheights range. The leaders are currently in their temporary homes high atop the Fairheights. Alright, so it's dwarves versus orcs. Let's see what happens here. Introduction. Meeting Winnow. Alright. I just want to say, while we're doing this, it feels good to be back streaming. It feels like, again, I know I'm just doing this is technically my job. I'm just reading the adventure, extracting lore so I can use something here for future adventures that we will create. But being here, chillax, just with you guys, it feels good. And my kid screaming below, it's perfect. All right, let's go with introduction. Meeting Winnow. Let's go with this. Yep, Ziggy's downstairs. I think he's hungry or something. But yeah, we'll play later. This is supposed to be ran for 15 minutes. You can't hear Ziggy? Alright. Then that means he's not strong enough. He needs to level up. Like that. One day he'll be able to cast Shatter by just screaming, and you'll see the stream just end. Anyway, the town of High Rock rests in a valley between the hills and mountains on the eastern edge of Fairheights range. Okay. Built on trade and mining revenue, the place boasts a decent number of shops, business, inns, and taverns. What brought you here, however, is the news that the dwarven clans of Rookout and Rustfire were in trouble. As they generally keep to themselves, the call from the dwarves for assistance surprised many. But the clans have a reputation for honorably upholding their contracts. Okay. Good to work with. These are good clients then, if they have this attitude. Excuse me. All right. Your investigation brought you to a tavern called the Dry Wheatstone. Let me place this. I think it's Whetstone, right? Did I?
Whetstone.
Yeah, it is Whetstone. I don't know why I called it Wheatstone. It sounded cool when you called it Wheatstone. Yep. Google said it's Whetstone. So, all right. Dry Whetstone. A mountain dwarf dressed in leather armor over vestment robes awaits you. Her red hair is tied in many braids and wrapped tightly around her head. A battle axe rests on the bench beside her. Mugs of ale. Dry pear. Yeah. Hey, thank you for the follow. Wallerstein. Okay. So this is the read aloud text. So if you see like a box text, usually you read that to your players if you're the dungeon master. So let's see what happens here. So we give the players a chance to introduce their characters and roleplay as long as you wish to allow. Okay. If they have the story award Friend of the Rustfire clan, they're greeted warmly and fondly by Winnow, which is for us who have read the Moon-1-1 adventure is familiar to us. And she tells us the following information. It's the adventure is telling us the following information. The dwarf is Winnow Rustfire, daughter of clan leader Norbert Rustfire. Also a priest of Berinar Truesilver, the goddess of home and protection. Dwarven goddess of home and protection. Her mountain dwarf clan is originally from the Cambro Mountains on the island of Gwynedd, but they were forced out by the monsters. Oh, okay, okay. Wait a second. I think I might be wrong. So the Rustfire clan, because I was imagining that the Rustfire clan live in the deep shades, like in the Underdark, below the Cambro Mountains. And then they use the Dwarven Home Tunnel to trade with the Rook Oats, which is on the other isle at the Fairheight range or the Fairheight Mountains. But from the looks of it, I hope it's not a typo. From the looks of it, they live in the Cambro Mountains. And then they use the tunnel to go to the other island. All right, let's open the map. Let's clear all the stuff. All right, where is the Isle of Gwynedd? The Isle of Gwynedd is right here. This is the Isle of Gwynedd, where the Kingdom of Sarifal, which is the Kingdom of the Fae, ruled by the Leshay and High Lady Ordolf, seat of powers here at Carador, this island here in the middle of Murloc Lake. But we're not here to talk about the Fae. We're here to talk about Rustfire clan. So originally, they live here in the Cambro Mountains, right here. Right? And then, if I'm reading this right, I'm understanding this right, they use the tunnels in the Underdark, or what we call the Deep Shades, and specifically the tunnels of Dwarvenholm, to trade. And they trade all the way up. As I said, I'm using a super high-tech map software. All the way up here and trade with the Rook Oat clan in the Isle of Alaron at the Fairheight range. So that is, can I zoom out even further? There. So that is, this is their story, the two Dwarven clans. Now, while they live in the Cambro Mountains, enhance. No, it's so hard. Like, there's something blocking my second monitor, so I have to look away. There we go. There. Enhance. All right. So the Fae kind of took over the Isle of Gwynedd. Like, they said, this is our island now. Everybody go away. But more specifically, the Dark Fae kind of kicked out the Rustfire clan from Cambro Mountains. They have to escape using the tunnels of Dwarvenholm and go to Fairheight range and ask the Rook Oat clans, hey, can we live here? Which the Rook Oat clan says, sure, why not? And then, oh wait, the Dark Elves are followed us and they're attacking us now. So what do? The clan leader of the Rustfire clan said, how about we merge your clans? And the Rook Oat clan leader is like, wait a second. Right? Doesn't seem fair. Right? So I'm kind of understanding their story now. Okay. But yeah, I don't think that's fair for the leader of the for the Rook Oat clan, because hey, you brought these Dark Fae here. Now we're under attack. We lost Blackstone because of you. A Shadow Dragon attacked. Now we're all stuck here in High Rock. And you want us to merge our clans to, improve our defenses. And in the process, all like the traditions and stuff of the Rook Oat clan will be lost, or some of it, or most of it, because, Rustfire traditions will kind of merge with the Rook Oats. So I can understand Brunhi's point of view, or from her from what she's thinking, I think, and also I can understand the pressure, because if she doesn't agree, then and Dark Fae attack and they all die, or then it's gonna be her fault, right? which shouldn't be her fault. It shouldn't be her fault, right? It's the Rustfire clan who went here, used the resources, brought the Dark Fae, and now all this is happening. And they're saying that where's that? We need to go back. And they're saying Narbert is saying he cannot understand Brunhi Rook-Oat's reluctance to join the two clans together. All right. I don't hate this person, but I don't like him either. Okay. Highlight that. Okay. Anyway, going back. Rustfire's taking our germs. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? Okay. Her mountain dwarf clans originally from Cambro Mountains, the Isle of Gwenet, but they were forced out by the monsters there. Alright, so they used the tunnel to escape. Now they're here in Alaron and join forces with the hill dwarves. So mountain dwarves and hill dwarves together. Monsters in the Fairheights further tormented the dwarves, isolating them here near High Rock. The dwarves are preparing to try to reclaim the Fairheight range from the orc tribes that took them and push back through the tunnels or retake their home on Gwenet. Is a dwarven clan just one big family? I think so, yeah. They all have the same name. So if they don't want to merge clans, they... I'm not gonna read that. But, you know, I don't know. It's something, if it's not expanded here or not told in the Moonshae Isles, maybe you can rely on me and Savannah Houston McIntyre, who is the other storyline lead for the Moonshae Isles, to expand on that lore, you know. But yeah, let's continue reading. Her father, Narbert Rustfire, and the Rook-Oat clan leader, Brunhi, have differences of opinion on just about everything. Even this meeting with the adventurers is opposed by her father. Alright. She recently performed a ritual to consult her deity. She believes this is an opportune time for the dwarves to push back against the enemies and try to reclaim their lost territory. Not even her father is willing to defy a god's word. Yep. Unfortunately, her brother Shale was captured while performing a scouting mission before the planned attack. Now, plans are on hold until he can be rescued. Damn it, Shale. So he's... because of what happened to Shale, everything got delayed. The orcs hold him as a deterrent to an attack. Winnow believes that if a strike force could infiltrate enemy territory and rescue him, it would both distract the orcs and remove their leverage. She hopes the adventurers are just those people. She promises monetary reward for finishing the mission, plus they would have the eternal gratitude of the Rook-Oat and the Rustfire clans. If the adventurers are willing to take on the mission, she asked them to accompany her to meet the clan leaders. Oh, we're going to talk to the clan leaders. Okay. Let's start to think of assume some stuff, theory craft. What are the benefits of being, having the eternal gratitude of two dwarven clans? What do you get? They said they have business in trading and mining, so we can get some discounted ores, perhaps, if we need it, to create weapons, jewelry, armor. We don't know if these dwarves are good at smithing, creating, forging stuff, right? So not just gonna assume. Um, but these clans and my axe, one of the clans basically lost all their stuff, their home, everything, and they had to run and find aid from another dwarven clan, right? So technically they have nothing. And then the remaining clan, the Rookout clan, most of their stuff got taken by the orcs already. So their last stronghold is at High Rock. So they mostly have nothing. Right? So I don't really see the benefit. If I'm an adventurer, I'm gonna ask Winnow, so what are the perks of having the eternal gratitude of the Rookout? Or are we just, not expect anything? I don't know. If I'm an adventurer, I want something back. Aside from the gold reward. Alright, Dwarven Negotiation. Part 1. We're already in Part 1. What happens here? The adventurers meet Brunhi and Narbert getting caught in a disagreement between the two clan leaders. They have the opportunity to hear further information and add their thoughts on how the clan should proceed. And we give the map of location of High Rock, which we know already, so we're not going to look at that. And yeah, let's read this. Winnow Rustfire leads you out of the valley town of High Rock, up a steep stone path into the Fairheights range until you are near the very top. A stone door, flanked by 2 guards, 1 hill dwarf and 1 mountain dwarf, leads into the mountain. Winnow navigates winding passages, past mining areas, and forges. All right, so they forge stuff. Okay, forges and other chambers central to the dwarven life here. You finally arrive at a door with 4 more guards. Even through the thick stone door, you can hear the angry grumbling of dwarven voices. Winnow sighs as she opens the door. And this is a good day. Okay. If our adventurers can speak Dwarven, we'll assume that all of us can speak Dwarven. We catch fragments of the argument, which we hear words like combined clan, marriage, unification. Oh boy, this is not good. Okay. Okay. Meeting the leaders. All right. Winnow quickly introduces the adventurers to Bruni Rookout, matriarch of the Rookout clan, and Norbert Rustfire, Winnow's father, and the patriarch of the Rustfire clan. Both leaders are gruff but polite, in a way only dwarves can be polite. They knew that Winnow was going to seek outside help to the dilemma they face, but they didn't expect it so soon. After introduction, Winnow gets down to business. See, it's just a marriage. This is just a dwarven version of Great Wall. Yeah. But I'm on right now, based on what I've read, I'm on Brunhi's side at the moment. I don't want to get married to, or I don't want to merge these two clans. We have our own tradition. We have a way of doing things. You brought all this problem here, and you think that the way to fix it is through marriage. So I don't know. So far, I'm on Team Brunhi. As you know, I recently cast divinations, beseeching my patron Baranar True Silver to provide direction for our plight. Many of the divinations, not surprisingly, were cryptic and hazy. Recent events, however, lead me to believe I've seen a path forward. She gives her father a worried look, then continues. My brother Shale is heir to the clan leadership, as well as the tactical leader of our clans, military forces. while leading the scouting party near enemy territory not long ago. In preparation for our attack, he was captured. While this was delayed, our plans to push the orc forces back. Delayed our plans to push the orc forces back. Norbert interrupts his daughter. And despite my wishes, we wait still. Shale is a warrior. He who knows the risk, and each day he lives in captivity as a hostage is another dame of shame upon him. I like Brunhi more. Alright, Winnow smiles grimly and continues. My divinations now make sense to me. My time is right to attack, but Shale is too important to lose. The orcs hold him, using him as leverage, but these heroes, she waves her arms in my direction, our direction, are destined to save him and ensure our victory in the entire war, not just this one battle. Okay. Hello, Tommy. Lore is fun. Lore is definitely fun. Yep. Not a lot of people have the patience to read adventures one after the other and extract as much lore. But yeah, if you're here, welcome. And yeah, let's try to get as much lore as we can about the Moonshae Isles. More specifically, about these two dwarven clans, Clan Rookout and Clan Rustfire. Okay, these are the information that we get. Winnow's divinations say that if she's interpreting them correctly, the orcs are at their weakest right now. So if we attack, it's most likely to succeed. However, Shale's capture is a huge impediment. Shale will gladly die for the cause. Oh, please don't. But her divinations say he has an important role to play in the upcoming war to drive the orcs back, then reclaiming the tunnels of Dwarven Home, which would allow the Rustfire clan to reclaim their homes beneath the Cambro Mountains on Gwinnett. Alright. This is fun. Answer me, sages. Do you like just like traditional fantasy, like Lord One of the Ring, Lord One of the Rings, Lord of the Rings type of you have like dwarf army versus like an orc army, and like the plot just revolves there. Gather as many dwarves as possible, gather heroes with certain skills that can help these dwarven armies fight a horde, fight an orc horde. Right? Would you like something like that? And then we go on the other side of the table. We go with the orcs and see why are they attacking, who are their clan leaders, and how they motivate themselves to fight. All that stuff. And you're standing there in the battle line waiting for the tribe leader speech, how to motivate you to go into war with the dwarves. Let me know if you're interested in that kind of adventure, and let's see if I can do something about it. All right, continuing. Where are we? Yes. Nothing it's not gonna be too complicated. Like, this is the adventure. It's like a TV show where you don't use a lot of brain cells. Right? It's not because dwarves and orcs are not complicated. It's because I don't want it to be complicated. I just want to create like a big battle between the dwarves and orcs, and adventures are in the middle of it. You choose your side and then you fight. You understand like what are the goals of each faction, each side, and then you fight. I want a version where the orcs, goblinoids are the protags and the humans, dwarves are the enemies. You know what? Soon. I have the same thought not long ago, and you know what? Soon I'll make it happen. There are some approvals that needs to happen, but with my convincing powers, I know it will happen. Volunteering as a playtester. All right, good to know. Yep, I have that. Yeah, I have a good name for an orc hero already. Humans, dwarves, elves. Are we the bad guys? Yeah, you know what? Should be the case. But I don't want it to be Gorgle. I don't know. We might get sued if we use that name. Uh, I know there's like a different version of that name, right? I have a home campaign. Instead of core goal, it has a different one. But before we continue, right now here in the Philippines it's 12 a.m. And I think it is one of the sage's birthday right now, if I'm not wrong, right? So if Ninja Gal is still here, happy birthday to you, one of our one of our sages here. Uh, I don't know why you're here if it's your birthday, but I really, really appreciate it. You're here stuck with us, sages. Happy birthday to you. May you get more birthdays to come. May the orcs and goblins and elves and dwarves not attack your home while you're celebrating your birthday. After your birthday, they could go and attack wherever you are. Right? Just kidding. But yeah. Birthday song. No, not yet. We're not ready for that. All right. When there's like donations and everything happening here, then probably, but not yet. Uh, I'm not ready for that. Money can blind me to do to do other things, but not yet. I have my dwarven pride with me. Yeah. Inner dwarven pride. Anyway, going back. So yep, happy birthday, Ninja Gal, and yeah. Let's continue. What is Winnow saying? She believes, according to divination, Shale is her brother is being held deep beneath the surface, far from the line between orc and dwarf held territories. Getting to him would be difficult. However, there are secret passages and chambers that lead down to a very near where he's held. The orcs know nothing about them, and even the dwarves have all forgotten about. Oh, so there's a secret passage. Even the dwarves have forgotten about them, except for Winnow. Well, she probably got this information from her deity, so okay, understandable, accepted. Okay, no plot hole there. These secret chambers are cursed, off limits to dwarves. Adventurers from outside the clans, however, would have a chance to shake off the curse and survive them, putting them very near Shale's current location. If they could navigate through these secret ways, survive the dangers, and secure Shale's safety, the attack could then take place. Through all of this discussion, Brunhi looks intrigued and nods, while Norbert scowls and grunts in disapproval. Dude, this is your son. We're trying to save your son. What's your problem? When all is said and done, if the adventurers agree to take on the mission, both clan leaders agree to it. That's right. When the adventurers reach Shale and his safety is secured, they're to use a sending stone to let Winnow know. And at that moment, the strike against the orcs would commence. Oh, here we go. We're going to have the orcs versus dwarves right after we save her brother Shale. Got it. If the adventurers ask for more info about the passage, the secret passage, this is what we get. Centuries ago, these chambers were closed when many dwarves mysteriously died there. Anyone sent to investigate also died. Finally, the chambers were sealed off and abandoned, mostly forgotten. Even Brunhi has only heard vague legends of them. Winnow's divination mentioned these chambers. You're right. So Winnow doesn't know about it. She got it from her deity. And of various challenges those who travel them must face. Dwarves are in particular danger there. Not even the eldest dwarves know the true story. And we're about to find out in this sidebar. But yeah, if you have a dwarf adventure, if you're playing a dwarf adventure and you're running this adventure, it might be something exciting here. All right. So, the secret of the lost dwarven chambers. The Rook-Oat clan has a dark secret. Oh, so this is a secret of the Rook-Oat clan. While most of the families were hardworking, honest miners and tradesfolk, a few lost their way. They became obsessed with wealth, doing anything and telling any lies to gain wealth. Precious metals, gems, and coin. Their corruption was kept hidden from other dwarven families, but Moradin, the god Moradin, the dwarven god Moradin, sees all. In their all-consuming need for more and more wealth, they finally turn to the worship of Abator, the dwarven deity of greed. Oh, wow. Do we have like a whole lineup of like dwarven gods in the Forgotten Realms? Like, because I know Moradin and True Silver, but then I'm not familiar with Abator. But if there are like other dwarven gods out there, let me know, because that's cool. And they carefully manipulated their clan so the evil families took possession of an area within the mountain where they could control and practice their terrible fate secretly. No other dwarves learned of this, but Moradin knew. He called down all sorts of terrible death and curses on the area where the Abator worshippers live and lied. After the offending dwarves were dead, the rest of the clan saw only the results. They sealed off the series of passages and chambers at both ends, letting the area to be lost to history until now. Okay. I'm trying to digest that. All right, so this is a deep secret of the Rook-Oat clan. So in the past, the Rook-Oat clan has like a greedy, like portion of like part of their family became too greedy, started worshiping, and I'm assuming an evil deity, right? A deity of greed. But Moradin himself kind of took over and killed these worshippers. That's kind of like a direct, not even influence, like direct move against these mortals, right? That's a bit too much for a god. So every time there's like a dwarf or a group of dwarves that's doing something evil or want to worship a different deity, you go and destroy them as Moradin. It's not a cool deity to be, all right? I'm not a fan of worshiping Moradin if I don't get the freedom of. Well, yeah, I know he will hate it because if you worship another god, why not him, right? Okay. But if I do evil acts, you know that Moradin is gonna be there to kind of, drop the hammer and kill you. Thou shalt not have any other gods before. I think that's what Moradin is saying, especially if you're worshiping an evil dwarven deity and tarnishing the reputation of the dwarves, you die. We don't need adventures. Moradin doesn't need to influence any other dwarves or heroes. He'll do it himself. Bam. So that is what happened. And DM Johnny Smith, thank you for the follow. All right. Join us as we read an adventure module from the Moonshae Isles and learn more about the dwarves of the Moonshaes, or more specifically, two clans of the Moonshae Isles, the Rook-Oat and the Rustfire. And we're still trying to get the answer if one clan equals one big family and if incest is involved, because that's what the sages want to learn, apparently. I don't know. Howdy. Hey, Johnny, yes. Yeah, for those who don't know, um, what do you call this? Um, so I told you guys at the beginning of this stream that I was busy writing the epic, right? Finish it, thought everything's okay, put it in Grammarly and everything. And then after that, found out that there are like 300 plus typos there. I thought there was zero. DM Johnny Smith is the one, like the hero of like the Winter Fantasy DMs, because he's fix it. If this is the right DM Johnny Smith that I know, if this is not the DM Johnny Smith that I know, I'm sorry, but the DM Johnny Smith that I know, he took a look at that epic, the Winter Fantasy epic, and corrected as many typos and stuff there, so making it easier for the Winter Fantasy DMs to run it. So thank you for that. Thank you. Kudos. Yeah. I promise you weren't counting. Yeah, you were not counting it, but in my email, since it was like in Google Drive, every time you edit, it will show in my email, and like it totaled to like 300 plus edits. So, yeah, but again, thank you, and hey, thank you for the follow, Bar Princess. No, all good. Again, it's you did a great work. You're like did more work than the Rustfire clan here. All right. Anyway, what's this? I missed something. Well, royal inbreeding is a thing even for IRL humans. Yeah. But we have to check. And what's going on with the lore? All right. So we know the secret passage. We know about the dark past of the Rook Oath clan. We have to save the son of the leader of the Rustfire clans. The leader of the Rustfire clan. We need to save Shale. And let's see if we can actually do it as heroes. Okay. All right. So part 2. We're already in part 2. All right. This is 120 minutes. All right. So in this part of the adventure, if you're the dungeon master, then you spend an approximately 120 minutes or 2 hours for this part of the adventure. I have a feeling that we're going to go exploring. All right. I have a feeling this is going to be an exploration part. So yeah, we're going to go to a secret passage. We have 2 hours of play here. Excuse me. Let's see what happens. All right. The adventurers infiltrate the orc territory using secret passages. The lost chambers and passages are more dangerous than anyone realized. And if you're a dwarf adventurer, I hope there's something here that makes it, more dangerous for dwarves than other types of adventurers. So terrain, storm corridors, dust covered because no one's been here. No light at all. What does it smell here? Dank and choking. There's a moaning and whistling sound indicating airflow. No visual evidence is such present. Huh. Okay. All right. Hope there's like no group of like I don't know, halflings or humans or whatever just here. You know what? We found a secret chamber. Nobody goes here. We can smoke here all we want. We can eat whatever, all the cheese that we stole from that village. We can keep it here and eat it. No problem. If there's something like that here, that will be fun. I doubt it, but it'll be fun if there's one. Anyway, note, the secret area is large with many chambers and passages, including some that lead to dead ends. And there's like graffiti on the wall in the tunnels. The passages slope down sharply as adventurers go deeper beneath the mountains into orc territory. All right. I have conflicting information, or I didn't understand it when I read it at the beginning in the adventure background and summary. From how I understood it, Clan Rustfire fled towards Fairheight range using the Dwarven Home tunnels. and then the dark fae followed them and keep harassing them. Right? That's what I understood. But now I'm thinking if the orcs here are part of the dark fae that's been chasing the rust fires and just harassing all of the dwarven clans now, or these orcs are native here or at the Fairheight range and attacking the dwarves. Like they are different enemies. They're different from the dark fae because orcs are not fae, right? Am I wrong? Orc. Give me some background here. Orc. Monster Manual. What do you say? I know they're not fae. Or is this like the elves became orcs kind of backstory? Am I mixing stuff here with Lord of the Rings? Orc tribes. Yeah, because there's like Groomsh versus Lathander, right? Okay. You need to help me with this. All right. But from what I know, orcs are not fae. And if the orcs are attacking, they're the orcs of Fairheight range, not the dark fae that's been chasing the Rustfar clan. Okay. Okay. Assume that there's much exploration and travel between these encounters. Rest. The uneasy and angry dwarven spirits roaming this area do not allow creatures to take a long... Alright, no long rest for adventurers. One short rest is allowed, but after that, the spirits haunt and menace too much distracting. Okay. Timing. The adventurers find a way to take extra rests. The fight in part 3 will be more difficult. Okay. Spiders galore. Oh, man. I love Shawn Merwin. All right. The first major encounter. Hello. Thank you for the follow, Tomoe Gabby. Hope I said that right. Found you. Oh, no. I think I know who this is. If I killed your elk, raise your hand. But anyway, let's go and continue. Yes. Hello, welcome to the stream. Yep. So we're just reading Moonshae Isle Adventures, trying to extract as much lore from the Moonshae Isles. So we're reading Moon3-1. And yeah, we're learning more about the Rustfar clan, the Rookout clan, their history, and also the enemies as well of these dwarves. Okay. All right. So we're going back. We're now in the secret passage here at Fairheight Range, and the passage widens into a long hall, 40 feet wide. Alternating to the right and left are large statues representing dwarves in various poses. Some are clad in armor, hold weapons. Others wield tools for mining or smithing. Yeah, so if you're new, again, those who are new here, those who just followed and joined, you are free, more than welcome to put the stream on the background while you're working, sleeping, doing something else, and just hope that unconsciously you learn. My goal here is just to extract as much lore as possible. I know this is not for everyone, but to some of us, this is very exciting. So if that's for you, then yeah, feel free to stay and watch, join the chat. But to others, you are free, more than welcome to just put us in the background, and hopefully unconsciously you start absorbing these lore, Moonshae lore. Oh, what's this? Long ago, when the gods were crafting the realms, they divided the land amongst each other and populated it with their creations. Moradin claimed the mountains for the dwarves. Corellian, Laretian claimed the woods for the elves, and Yondala took the hills for the halflings. According to Groomsh, when he tried to claim his piece of the world, he was denied. The other gods spurned and mocked him, but Groomsh would have his revenge. Such is the role of orcs. He crafted the green-skinned brutes to continue his war and make the races of the world suffer for the sins of their creators. Wow. Okay. That's good stuff. So going back to like the orcs here attacking the dwarves, capturing their it's just how they were created. That's like their innate goal, right? Because they were born to do that. Okay. So it's not just the elves. Sorry, it's not just the dwarves that they hate. It's not just the elves. It's basically, hey, Groomsh was denied. I want a piece of the land here in this world. Why did you not give me any? And the other gods are like, too late, bro. Just chill. Maybe when we create another setting, another world, you can get, a piece of the pie. And you know what? You're not gonna give me any land. Let me create these orcs and wreak havoc to all of the creatures you created. Okay. All right. I hope you got that from Wiki and you did not just write it all by yourself. Okay, so we're gonna believe that. I'm gonna believe chat. I'm gonna believe the sages. This is correct information. It sounds correct. So if it's not, that you did a great job writing it. But yeah. So now we understand more about like the reason why the orcs are attacking, like or causing havoc here at the Fairheight range with the dwarves. And the more we understand them, the more we're like, are we gonna side with the orcs? Like these orcs did not ask to be, to be villains, but their god Groomsh created them to be the villains of this world. How do you break free from that? And I know there are stories of orcs breaking free from Groomsh and other orc gods, right? So that's a story worth expanding. And here in the Moonshae Isles, I think that's good too, because there's a lot of orcs here in the Moonshaes, and I'll take note of that. That's one aspect of the lore that we might want to expand in the future, especially if we're doing the dwarves versus orcs kind of storyline. If people want that, we can, because at times you have a lot of adventure storylines where a lot of things are happening, a lot of thinking is involved, a lot of tracking of who's who, what's happening has to be done, right? And sometimes you just want to basic this clan versus this tribe because they're an all-out war, just kind of like a Warhammer 40k battle, except in D&D adventure, right? So we'll see if that can be done. And then let's see who's the villain there too. Anyway, going back, the passage widens into a long hall 40 feet wide, alternating. So we have the statues, some clad in armor, hold weapons, tools for mining. All bear a holy symbol of the dwarven god Moradin. Like the rest of this secret area, the cobwebs are thick, and the ceiling here rises more than the normal 10 feet of other tunnels you've traveled so far. Hey, Dark Plane DM, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Yes. If you want to learn more about the Moonshaes like me, we're reading Moonshae adventures one after the other. And since a lot of people have just joined, remember, this week, I'll post in Twitter or Facebook or in our Discord. We have a special guest this week. I'm going to be interviewing one of the authors of, and I think storyline leads, I would like to say, I have to make sure, of 4E D&D 4E Living Forgotten Realms Moonshae Isle Adventures. Yes. So remember, if you're part, no, not Gary Gygax, damn it. You should all be scared. If Gary Gygax is here, even if in ghost form, I'll be happy. But yeah, but Force Ghost, yeah, Force Ghost there. No, but yeah, one of the authors in 4E Living Forgotten Realms campaign and the Moonshae Isles will be joining me this week. I have an interview. It'll probably be at a different time. I think it's gonna be nighttime EST, so morning time for us here in the Philippines. And we're gonna talk about what happened there, what happened in during D&D 4th edition, the storyline, the villains that were there. If you remember the fishermen, all that stuff. Oh, cool things will happen. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Where can you find my stuff? Is it socials? I think that's the command, right? Let me see. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. I don't know. Is it social? I don't know. I forgot. But I think, yeah. But I'll post a link later. Yeah, Discord, Twitter. Let me see if I have the link for Discord here. I think I do. Not a lot of things happen in Discord, in our Discord, unless this daily reminder that there's stream going on. If there's playtests, most of the time I do it there. If not, in the Balman game server. But yeah, I guess I'll just grab like the direct link that I have for Discord. There you go. I got a bit.ly link. I'll put it here. Yeah, if you want to join that, there. Some of our Ghostlight RPG chat commands weren't working either. Yeah. And he goes, DM Johnny goes, hey, there was a fisherman reference in one of the new Moonshae mods. Yes, I wonder why. All right. So, if you played 4E Adventure, I haven't. I'm a 5E baby. I wish I was able to play it 4th edition. But yeah, a lot of stuff happening there, but good stuff. Anyway, we need to complete what we're reading here. Where was I? When the adventurers reach the central portion of the hallway, so we got 5 phase spiders. All right, so we got 5 phase spiders attacking. We have like the boss spider using the hulking crab stat block. And they just appear out of nowhere. And you spot them with perception check. And then that's it. That's basically it. We have adjustments that we can make based on the fight. All right. We're going to skip that. Again, we're here to extract lore from these adventures. So we're not going to focus too much on the combat encounters and other non-lore stuff. On Initiative 20, one of the random statue animates. All right, so this is a secret tunnel with dwarven statues, symbol of Moradin, and they animate. And they make one attack. All right, they just attacked. Why did they animate? Because someone's here? I'm assuming because they're here in the hallway. That's why the statues animate. All right. So it's good to know that there are animated like statues like this that animate here at the Fairheights range with the dwarves. So if I put like in a future adventure and then there's like an animating statue of the dwarves and people will go, well, that's dumb. Why is it there? Like, there's no reference of like dwarven architecture where like animating dwarves. Well, sucks to be you because according to Moon3-1, there's one right there. This is a sealed tunnel. If I remember right, the dwarves should not go through it. Yes, they're not allowed to do. But Winnow was given this information from her deity through Silver, and now us adventurers, not the dwarves, but us adventurers are going through it to find an easier path towards the orc's base and save Winnow's brother Shale. Yeah. So the verbatim first origin story of the orcs is pretty badass. It is pretty badass. I would like to explore. I'm not an expert on orcs, but I have a friend who loves orcs. Like, he has like this passion for like making orcs super super cool that I somehow got influenced unconsciously, and now I'm starting to think orcs are cool too. So there. On animated statues, so we have that treasure. What do we get? We have the statues will not protect the trespasser. No, they will not. They're attacking. See here in the second column, the animated statues attack everyone that just goes here. It doesn't protect the dwarves as well. So just anyone who goes through here, these more than dwarf statues attack. All right. We have a parry up of wound closure. Okay. What else do we have here? It's needed to latch hinges, secret panel. Okay. So just how to get the treasure. All right. And then we get to a different room. I'll paste the story in Discord that is too long for chat. Yes, please go. We have a Lore Academia channel there. Post everything. Discuss whatever we discuss here. Expand further. And yeah. Let's bring some life in our Discord server. What else? Next room. Moradin's Hunters. The passage opens into a large chamber. An inch-deep layer of dust covers the floor. The upper areas of the chamber are filled with webs, making it impossible to tell how high the ceiling is. Okay. The chamber contains large blocks of granite, 4 10 feet square and 2 15 square. They are covered in runes that do not spell any recognizable words in any language. Okay? That's a bit weird. Hinges on the north side of these blocks show that there are doors set within them. The walls and floors of 2 large recesses on the east and west also contain runes similar to the ones on the granite cubes. All right, so what do these cubes do? We should look at the Appendix 3C for the map. The stone cubes are on rollers. Oh, okay. Which is indiscernible with a check, and a creature can push them. Okay. The runes on the cubes are definitely dwarven. Hey. They are covered in runes that do not spell any recognizable words in any language. All right, not a word in any language, but they are dwarven runes. All right, they're basically dwarven script. All right, but it doesn't make like sense. Like we don't know what words they are. Okay. With a religion check, it reveals that the smaller box's runes are dedications to the dwarven god of greed, Abator, while the larger box's runes are dedication to Moradin. Worshippers of dwarven deities automatically succeed on these checks. The smaller cubes contain dwarven skeleton in tattered robes. Inside the large cubes is treasure. All right. If I'm getting this right, because this place has been sealed off because trying to get it. Because like the past members of the Rook-Oath clan started worshipping Abator, right? But from the looks of it, it might be cursed, but we're trying to learn how these dwarves have lived. And from the looks of it, they did not forsake Moradin altogether. Like, I'm not gonna worship you anymore. I'm a greedy person. I'm just gonna worship Avatar. From the looks of it, they worship Avatar, but they're still also giving offerings and worshiping Moradin at the same time. So like, uh, they didn't completely remove Moradin from the picture in terms of worship. So, but Moradin still got mad at them and brought curse and death to these members of the Rook-Oath clan because they worship another god, which is an evil god. And Moradin is like, all right, not gonna tarnish the reputation of the dwarves. You all go and die. All right, but this is a good. We may be over analyzing stuff. We may be theory crafting here a bit. But if you interpret it that way, right? It's not these members, these dwarves did not just go, all right, I'll stop worshiping Moradin because I'm a greedy person and evil. I'm gonna worship Avatar. No, I'm gonna worship Avatar while still worshiping Moradin. So they're not like 100% evil. They're not like, they did not turn their backs on Moradin. Dude. Yeah. Good stuff, right? Okay. I think that's what it is. We may be over analyzing it. I think we are, but it's good lore. If for example me as a writer or storyline lead start to expand on that, then I can get some inspiration from this kind of text. All right. Monsters. There are monsters here. Servants sent by Moradin to destroy the followers of Avatar. Guard this chamber. They don't appear until the cubes are touched, moved, or entered. All right. So these are Moradin's hunters. So again, Moradin did not influence any mortal in this realm to take care of these greedy Rook-Oaths. Instead, it's Moradin himself, right, who kind of took care of these worshippers of Avatar. He sent his hunters, and they're still here. And if you touch any of these cubes, you get attack. Whoa. All right. Moradin's hunters. To represent Moradin's hunters, start with a young copper dragon. Do they have like a description what they look like? I want to see what they look like. They only stop attacking. None. In language, replace draconic. Description, here we go. Moradin's hunters are long, flying snakes with metallic skin. Their skin is covered in the same runes as the one on the large cubes. Giant metal snakes. Alright. I'm thinking of Ekans from Pokemon, but with... No, the evolve version of Ekans is the basic one, right? Ekans... evolution. What's the evolution of Ekin? Arbok. All right. There we go. Arbok. These guys though. Yeah. So Arbok. Yeah. So Arbok with metallic skin. That's what I'm imagining right now. Probably a bit more badass than that, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. Okay. Sorting the cubes. The cubes can be pushed at half speed. No, we don't have commands for those. Creatures using the dash action can move at half speed, alright, while pushing the cube. When the large cubes are fully moved into the western recess, and the smaller cubes are moved fully to the eastern recess, Moradin's hunters disappear. Alright, so alright, so to remove them, you just move the cubes. And we get 4 potions. 4 potions of greater healing. That's a lot. That's like jackpot right there for adventurers. If you get like 4 potions of greater healing, that's nice. Okay. Because it's not normal potion of healing. It's a greater potion of healing. These guys are rich. Yeah, they're right. Yeah, they're greedy. They're rich. While the others contain the golden holy symbol of Moradin. Okay. They were very generous in this adventure. I can tell, but yeah, but it only reflects that these worshippers of Avatar have coin, you know. If they have these many potions of healing, greater potions of healing in their place of worship. Anyway, let's go. We're gonna go to 3C to find. Oh, so this is the tunnel. Statues. All right, right. And then the spiders attack here, and then the statues animate and attack you. And then this is the Moradin's Hunters. I think I know what app was used to make this map. I think I used this before. For my Heroes of Nine Hells adventures, I think I used this app. So these are the small squares and big squares. So you have to put it. It said east and west. I guess. Yeah, but basically the top and bottom, right? Okay. So I guess north is east. I mean, north is there. To the right. Okay. All right. So that is what this area looks like. Okay. Going back. C. What do we have for C? All right. Actually, you know what? I forgot to update our stuff. Why did I put this here? NPCs. Lore. Rook Oat clan. Rook. Where is it? I don't know the spell. Rook Oat. There you go. Rook Oat clan. There you go. Has a dark pass. And some members a long time ago worship what's the name? Abator. The dwarven god of greed. Okay. Just in case, we can use it for, future adventures. Excuse me. All right. Anyway, next room. C. Haunted crypts. This chamber contains several 6-foot square crypts. Their doors carved with the likeness of a dwarf, each decked out in fancy clothing and in an inordinate amount of jewelry. Again, rich kids. One larger crypt in the center of the chamber is intricately carved to look like a treasure chest teeming with gold, silver, gems, jewelry, and other riches. Of course, if it's like stone carved to look like that, I would assume that it is a dwarven tomb or a dwarven crypt as well. This is a burial chamber of the worshippers of Abator. When Moradin purged the area, the crypts here became desecrated and the spirits within uneasy. So they have a crypt already before they died? Like, probably, right? Hey, one medium clue. Welcome to Lore Academia, where we read adventures set in the Moonshae Isles and extract as much lore as we can. Feel free to put us in the background if you're doing a lot of stuff, or if you're interested in joining and getting as much lore as we can here. And then stay with us with the fellow sages here in chat. Okay, where were we? So 3 of the... I mean, if you die first, you can't build the crypt. So that's what I'm saying. So probably this has been here for a long time, and they set up an area where, worshippers of Abator, you have a special place where we can bury you. So we're you go here. That's probably it. Interested in learning about warlocks and patrons? Well, you never know. we just found some worshippers of Avatar, the dwarven god of greed. And Moradin has been sending hunters that looks like Arbok with metal skin or metal scales. So we might find like a super powerful entity here that can be a patron or a warlock who worships a super strong entity. So let's see. Let's continue. So with the burial chamber of worshippers of Abator, when Moradin purged the area, the crypts here became desecrated and the spirits within uneasy. Yes, I think the crypt was made before Moradin did his thing, obliterated all the worshippers, and yeah, the spirits here just got uneasy. 3 of the intended spirits became revenants, vowing to destroy any living creature entering the chamber who do not worship Avatar. Oh, nice. So what if we have an adventurer who is a dwarf, or not even a dwarf, just a worshipper of Avatar? What happens then? Did we does that break the adventure if there's a worshipper of Avatar? Let's continue. The revenants inhabit the decaying bodies of dwarves interred in the crypts. They emerge from random crypts as the adventurers enter the room. The central crypt. The larger central crypt has been reinfused with the magic of Avatar over the centuries, giving the revenants their power. A living creature that enters or starts its turn within 10 feet of central crypt must make a charisma saving throw. Blinded or be blinded by crippling greed for 1 minute. Blinding creatures can use an action their turn to remove the blind condition. Okay. The door to the central crypt is locked, opened with checks. Inside there are shining jewels, gems, and gold. Alright, if you start your turn inside the central crypt, you take radiant damage from the glow. And then anything else? Can the consecrated removing Abator's influence? So Abator's influence is still here. When this happens, the revenant take that damage and until they are dead. Okay. So well. Treasure points. Oh no, is this a season 8 adventure? I see treasure points. Oh. Anyway, okay, so this is just an encounter and then that's it. So let's go back. This is what their room looks like. All right, so there are small crypts and then the central crypt right there. Okay. And then going back up. After the adventurers navigate, all right, so we get to end of the line. All right, so now we're about to exit this secret passageway. You have reached yet another dead end. Oh, I guess not. But you know that you must be close to the exit of these lost chambers. The wall here is different than the others. It was created more recently than the other ancient dwarven stonework. Careful examination reveals tiny runes etched into the wall at a dead end point. Okay. This doorway was walled over when the dwarves sealed off the cursed area 2 centuries ago. They put a trap in place to ensure that nothing terrible got out. A Arcana check reveals that the runes allow the door to be open if they are touched, while the incantation is spoken. While this is true, within the opening, the runes are trap runes triggered when they are read. Oh, okay. When the trap is triggered, the door can be opened with an Arcana check. If for some reason no one can make the check, the door can be opened by using melee attacks. This is Moradin's door trap. Etched with magical runes, Uh, at first glance, the runes appears at first glance to be triggers to activate the magical door, but it is trapped. The effect is 5d10 bludgeoning damage. Are shoved to the end of the hallway, where the ceiling opens and drops vats of acid to the characters. They take an additional 8d6 acid. Okay. Alright, so you just disable the trap. Not gonna read through that. Adjusting the trap damage depending on how strong the party is. And then we're out. We're out of that secret passage. Good stuff. Okay, so we're done with that. And then what happens next here? Part 3. All right, we're almost done. This is the last part of the adventure. 45 minutes if you're the dungeon master and running this part. The adventurers arrive in the chamber where Shale is being held. They must deal with the magical restraints that threaten the young dwarf, while at the same time fighting off the captors. All right. Once through the magical doorway, the adventurers find themselves in a corridor that has no dust and is obviously much used. Without the ability check needed. All right, they hear shouts. We heard from the south. Enter the doorway. So again, I'm not sure if this room is part of that secret. I don't think I don't think it is. So you can access this room through different means, like going in the Fairheights Mountains, finding like a cave entrance, and then get to this room. It's just Winnow was given this knowledge by True Silver that there is a secret passageway where you can arrive at this destination using a different path, right? And that was the path that we just went through. So this is not part of it, because the orcs are here. So what happens here? So we need to rescue Shale. In the center of this chamber, a dwarf stands wrapped in 4 great chains that glow with a dark light. The chains come out from the floor with no bolts visible. Magic. He writes in pain while orcs stand around him, shouting in Orcish and very broken Dwarven. They berate him and ask him about the war plans of the dwarves. So they know about the dwarves making plans on attacking the orcs. This is what I understood too. I think because of the battle, this will be a safe shortcut if you're not Rook out. Yep. Yeah, because if you go like the normal path to get to this, like the base of the orc, which is this area where we are at right now, it will be difficult to surprise them, or if you get noticed, you get attacked, then mission might fail. So this one, at least we have the element of surprise, but you have to survive the secret passage of death first, which is part 2. All right. So Nobles, he writes in pain while orcs stand and yell at him, asking about the war plans. One of the orcs, the tallest and most powerful, strikes the dwarf with the flat of his great. I was thinking like the leader of the orc will kind of like slap him, but no. The leader of the orc grabs his great sword, uses the flat side of the great sword of the blade, and smacks Shale. Okay then. I think I'm gonna use that. Is there a way? Where's my highlighter? I just want like a one that worked with this orc, if we're gonna kill this orc here, or like a family member, brother or sister probably. And in one adventure where you fight the orcs, they'll do this to you. They'll just slap you with the flat of their great sword. And if you remember, if this happened to you in Moon3-1, all of a sudden like flashback, right? So I might use that. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So we use the map 3E, and then questioned by a Tyranook, an orc demon. Okay, an orc war chief and 4 orogs. Wow. And let's see. If the adventurers took more than one short rest, there are more orogs here. All right. So the chains, are they magical? The chains holding Shane are made of shadow, but they glow, right? A dwarf stands wrapped in 4 gray chains. Okay, so shadow chains that glow in dark light. The only thing I can imagine is, you know that Mandalorian lightsaber? Mandalorian, not great saber. Mandalorian Jedi lightsaber. Mandalorian lightsaber. What do you call it? What do you call it? The dark saber. There you go. Yes, dark saber. Yeah, that's what I'm imagining. So it's chains, but it looks like, but it has like that look of a dark saber. Yeah. Okay. Like same texture, same properties, so like the dark saber probably. Well, probably not the same properties, but yeah, it looks like the light from the dark saber. The chains do damage to Shale equal to 1/4. Okay, so that's damage. If Shale dies, his soul is lost to the plane of shadow. Anyone making okay. All right, so we don't want Shane to die. The chains cannot be broken physically. They act as a dimension shackle, preventing Shale from being teleported away or moved physically. Ah, good job. Good job. Mechanically, that's a good way of yeah. So it's a flavored mechanic basically, because again we have tier 2 adventures now, so we don't want the adventures just touching Shale and then teleporting out of there if normal chains was used, right? We want the adventures from the design perspective. You want the players or the characters to fight the enemies here, then save Shale. So to do that, we need to make sure that Shale cannot get away immediately if magic is used by the characters. So they made these dimensional shackles that prevent Shane from being teleported away or moved physically. Good job. Good job, Shawn. All right. I love that. And maybe I'll use it too. now that I've seen it. All right. Are made out of shadow. I think I'll use. That's good stuff. Okay, the following actions can help free Shale or keep him alive longer. Casting a healing spell, okay. And then Thieves' Tools to remove one of the 4 chains. So there are 4 chains, 4 actions needed. That's 4 actions the characters are not using to attack the enemies, okay, which is good. And spells that move magic or bonds can remove one of the chains per casting. Okay. So if I'm the dungeon master, if I have a lot of players, or in terms of action economy, they're really good, then I can add more chains. I say that there's one more chain, wrap around the waist, all that stuff. So I can have 8 chains, 8 actions. That will slow them down if needed. Okay. Good design. I like that. It's simple, but it does its job. If the adventurers question any prisoners, treasure. What do we have for treasure? If the Tyranook is killed, it disappears in a puff of noxious smoke In its place is a jade statue of a Taranok that the party can collect and will contribute to their treasure points. Oh, we get a small statue. All right. I want to say action figure, but no. All right. We got a model figure of a Taranok. You get that if you defeat the enemy here. Prisoners, you question any. Only the Orc War Chief and the Taranok have any knowledge. They say that the Orcs are moving west in the mountains to join forces with a new ally that will not only eliminate the dwarves once and for all, but will take all of Alaron for their own. They don't provide details before they don't know. They don't know the details. Damn it. But yeah. What's this? So the orcs are working with somebody else. So they have an ally. And they're moving west. Wait a second. Let's open our super advanced map. Let's enhance our map. Oh, that's too much enhance. There we go. And let's go to Alaron, Fairheight. Where am I? There you go. Fairheight. Okay. I thought, based on what they said in the background, Blackstone is no more. Shadow Dragon attacked it. So all the remaining Rook Oats and Rustfire are all staying here at High Rock. And the Orcs of Fairheight range are attacking the Dwarves and eliminating them once and for all. But they're moving west. So I guess some Orcs stayed here to take care of the Dwarves, while the rest of the Orcs and their group head west together with their new ally. All right. Not the best strategy. I would have, take care of High Rock first, then let all the dwarves live here in Blackstone. And if I'm heading west, then I'm gonna attack Blackstone, right? This is west, right? Going left or right. So, okay. Not game breaking, but you need a bit of encouragement to buy that strategy. Self-encouragement to buy that strategy. Okay. Win or lose. If the adventurers defeat the orcs and save Shale, they can use the Sending Stone Tell Winnow. On their cue, the dwarves begin the assault on the orcs. The adventurers can hear far off explosions, shoutings, etc. If there's still more than 45 minutes left in your playtime, you can have a group of 4 Orogs left by an Orc War Chief come into the chamber to investigate what's happening with Shale. Oh, so more combat. If Shale died from the Shadow Chains, he's pulled into the Plane of Shadow. So basically, Shadow fell and is lost. If he was rescued, he thanks the adventurers for saving him. He wants to join the battle, but his 5 levels of exhaustion make it impossible. And then conclusion. Before we go to conclusion, this is so it has different endings, right? So Shale die or Shale doesn't die. I use this too. I use this design technique as well. But we need to know what's the canon ending. Did Shale really die or Shale survive? I'm assuming that Shale survive, right? But yeah, this is one. It's having multiple endings is good in terms of adventure play because again, it gives more option for the players. It's more fun for the players. Story wise though, you have if you have like an overarching story that's happening in multiple adventures, you need to choose one of that as the, what really happened. What do you follow? If Shane lived, then those who played this adventure and then Shale died, they go, oh, what happened? How come Shale is alive? I thought he went to Shadowfell and can never be brought back, right? So, but if Shale died in future adventures, if that is the canon, and here they said, what do you call this? But we saved Shale. What happened? The storyline people can say that, yeah, he was exhausted and unfortunately succumbed to death because of what he'd been through. So that is a more believable story. So, all right, I take it back. So I think him dying will be the canon one. I'm not sure. Those who played it, let me know. But do you see Shale in future adventures? But I think the best one to take here as a canon story or a canon ending is Shale dying, because that one you can explain. After an hour, the adventurers are found by Winnow. She tells them that the orcs have been defeated, either killed or driven west. The dwarves have saved the day. The dwarves have saved the day, and they're now working to consolidate their gains. We saved the day. The adventurers saved the day, not the dwarves. Now that the adventurers have cleared out the lost chambers, they can also be used by the dwarves, alleviating the crowded conditions of the clans. All right, more space. All right. A huge feast is planned to honor the adventurers and all the brave clan members who defeated the orc horde and broke the siege of High. Oh yeah, because after we save Shale, the dwarves will attack, right? So, and yeah, driven off the orc horde away from their homes. And that is the end of the adventure. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Awards. We have that. We have some story awards. Savior of Shale Rustfire. Death of Shale Rustfire. Okay. What do we get? Parry up of Wound Closure. So Brunhi, High Rock, Winnow Rustfire. We have that. We talk about that. Stat block. You have the map of Alaron. Yep. And then the maps here for the secret passages. Parry up of Wound Closures. Do we have a fluff for this? I think we do. This necklace is comprised of a single piece of quartz crystal held to the wearer's neck by a band made from the woven gray beard hairs of an ancient dwarven clan leader. That's a bit creepy, but as it has its own charm to it. Attuning to it makes the wearer very thirsty for ale. That's cool. Okay. But I don't know if I want to wear like hair of someone else like around my neck. Okay. So if I'm about to go to a party, I want to get wasted, and that's probably the time that I'm going to attune to this item, right? Story award. There you go. You were able to save Shale Rustfire before he perished. Now he's able to play a role in the upcoming war against the orcs and the allies. See, that's my concern. And then the last one. Oops, this is the last page, so I have to move the PDF. I have to move the window. There. Despite your efforts, Shale Rustfire perished. How his death will affect the war efforts remain to be seen. So when we read future Moon3 adventures, we'll see how these story words affect those stories. Okay. But this is the last page. We did it. that's the end. Let me scroll back up to the title page. We just finished Moonshae Isles, excuse me, Rising Shadows atop the Fairheights. We learned a lot about these two clans. We also learned about the orcs and that they're working with another group or an ally. We learned about some dwarven religion, about Moradin and is it Abator? I forgot. Where is that? It's here. Abator, yeah. And the location here in Alaron and how Rustfire clan from their mountains in Cumbra Mountains in Gwinnett going to Fairheight Range in Alaron. Good stuff. All right, I'm liking this. I like this. Am I biased because Shawn Merwin wrote this? Probably. But I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too. And so what now? Right? Like what now? We've done everything. After this, what's gonna happen next is tomorrow we're gonna read 3-2 Moon 3-2. And however, I have a game with like my local group happening tomorrow and Thursday. So usually we start 11 p.m. Manila, 10 a.m. Eastern time. But tomorrow we might start at a later time. So if I'm gonna start like 1 a.m. Manila, I doubt any local folks will watch. But if you do, good luck. Thank you. If we start at 1 a.m. Manila, then that's gonna be 12 noon Eastern time. So yeah. So Tuesday and Thursday, it's gonna be 12 noon Eastern time as we read more Moonshae Adventures. Tomorrow we're gonna read Moon 3-2, and then Wednesday Moon 3-3, and then Thursday Moon 4-1. We're until we get to Moon 20. That's the goal. All right. But today and Wednesday, it's gonna be 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Manila time. And yeah, that is it for me. Let me see if where are my commands here? Commands. Yeah, it's supposed to be social. So if you want to learn more where to follow, I guess it's not working. Oh no. If you want to know where to follow me or get updated, especially since we will be interviewing an author from 4E, Living Forgotten Realms Adventures. You can go ahead and follow me on Twitter at DMPaulG. If you miss like previous streams, you want to watch it on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel where I upload everything. Didn't go. The format sucks, but yeah. So Twitter's there, YouTube's there, their Discord server, or website, and then Facebook is there as well. I don't know why the commands are not working. The command is correct, but it's not working. But yeah, there you go. Also, what else? I know one of our sages had a birthday today, so Ninja Gal, happy birthday again. To our mods, thank you again for removing spam here in chat and for staying this late. And for those who have returned after the 1 month hiatus, again, thank you. And for those who are joining us for the first time, again, thank you for joining. I hope you stay with us and learn more about the Moonshae Isles together with me. There's a lot of overthinking, overanalyzing, theory crafting going on. But again, this is all part of the fun. And if any of those can be used in future stories, future adventures, you can do that. How come there's no subscription? Because I'm not a Twitch affiliate yet. Yeah, I think you need like some sort. There are like stats that you need to hit to become a Twitch affiliate, and then you can have the subscribe button. So I don't have that yet because uh, I'm not really here for the views. If we got more views, great, right? If we got more people, that's awesome. But I'm just here reading adventures because it's part of my job as a storyline coordinator for the Moonshaes, and I thought maybe other people would like to listen as well as I because they don't have time to run the adventure or play through them. So there you go. Again, yes. Good night. Good night. We'll see you. And what else? What else? Remember, interview this week. Super, super cool author. Good night. We'll see you again tomorrow. It'll be late, probably 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 a.m. Manila. Peace, sages. Bye-bye.